angle theta, where this r, this represents the magnitude of the vector, and this theta represents the direction of the vector. Theta represents the direction of this vector, right? R magnitude of the OR bar, and theta is the direction of the OR bar with respect to x-axis, right? So this is the representation of the OR bar, that is the position vector OR bar or the R bar in the polar coordinate system, right? Now this equation, the polar form of this equation in the complex algebra is given by this, right? So we can also write it down OR bar, we can also write it down OR bar as equals to R bar equals to R e raised to I theta, right? Again, here I is the imaginary term which is given by under root of -1, right? Then R is the magnitude of the OR bar, and theta is the direction of the OR bar with respect to the real axis. With respect to the real axis, right? So in the complex algebra, we have real and imaginary axis. Real and imaginary axis, right? So this e raised to I theta is nothing but this is the unit vector in the direction of the OR bar. Unit vector in the direction of the OR bar, right? So this e I theta, e raised to I theta, is in the complex algebra is also written as I theta is equals to cos of theta plus I sine of theta. So e raised to I theta is equals to cos of theta plus I sine of theta. And this equation is also applicable, right? So I e raised to I theta, it can be written as e raised to I into theta plus pi by 2. So how we got this equation? So just if we consider theta equals to pi by 2, if we consider theta equals to pi by 2, and if we substitute in this equation, it will be e raised to I pi by 2, that is equals to cos of pi by 2 plus I sine of pi by 2, right? So this will become 0 and this will become I, because sine 90 is equals to 1 and cos 90 is equals to 0, right? So from this equation, what we got, I is equals to e raised to I pi by 2, right? I is equals to e raised to pi by 2. So if I want to write I into e raised to I theta, it will be equals to what? I, we know it is e raised to I pi by 2, right, into e raised to I theta. And this is equals to what? E, if we take I common, then this will be equals to theta plus pi by 2, right? So this equation, we are going to use it when we are going to differentiate for the velocity and acceleration equation, right? So in this slide, it is important to understand this OR bar, which is the position vector, and in the complex algebra, this is represented by R e raised to I theta. OR bar equals to R bar, that is equals to R e raised to I theta. So this is the important equation that we have to take from this slide, and we are going to make use of this equation in the next concept, right? So please reply whether this slide 1 of the complex algebra method is clear to you. In this, we derived the equation for the position vector. Everybody please kindly reply in the chat box. Yes, only 2 students. Okay, so thank you so much for your reply. Now we'll go forward now, taking this equation with us, the position vector OR bar, that is equals to R bar, that is equals to R e raised to I theta, right? So now next we'll see, if I consider any point C, now we are discussing about the complex algebra method. So this axis, x-axis, we're going to consider it as the real axis, and this will be the imaginary axis, right? So we have a point C in this system, right? And if I want to find the position vector, if I want to find the position vector, it will be OC bar, or simply it will be equals to C bar, right? OC bar or C bar. And I can write it down this equation, right? So here we can see we have a link OC, which is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction, and the angle is theta over here, right? So this position vector OC bar, or that is equals to C bar, can be represented as R e raised to I theta, where R is the magnitude and e raised to I theta is the unit vector in the direction of the C bar, right? So ये आपका vector है, and e raised to I theta is nothing but the unit vector in the direction of this OC bar, right? So for this link, OC link, which is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction, we can write down this equation: OC bar equals to C bar equals to R e raised to I theta, right? Now what we are doing the velocity analysis, right? So figure shows the link OC of the length R and inclined to the horizontal at theta and rotating in the clockwise direction. I told you anti-clockwise, so just one correction in that case, clockwise direction with angular velocity omega about its center O, right? So ये जो link है अभी OC, it is rotating in the clockwise direction with angular velocity omega about its center O, right? Now what we'll do to derive the velocity equation, we need to derivate this equation. Now we have this position vector. अगर position vector को हम differentiate करते हैं with respect to time के साथ, तो हमें मिलेगा velocity vector, right? So very simple now. VC bar we are going to differentiate with respect to time, right? So VC will be equals to, OC bar we are going to differentiate with respect to time, and we are going to get VC bar. So d by dt of OC bar, right? Or it is C bar, right? So d by dt of R e raised to I theta, right? So because this is OC bar or C bar, which is given by R e raised to I theta, so we have to differentiate this term, and we are going to use UV rule. So where U will be equals to R and V will be equals to e raised to I theta, right? So differentiation will be like this: U dV by dt plus V du by dt, right? So how to differentiate? First we'll take R, then differentiation of e raised to I theta will be e raised to I theta, and again we need to differentiate this term. So this will be I into d theta by dt, and plus we'll take e raised to I theta, and we have radius. We have to take the differentiation of radius, but R is the length of the link over here, which is constant, right? So this term is not going to come over here. So this will be R e raised to I theta into I d theta by dt, right? D theta by dt. So what is this d theta by dt? So this is nothing but your omega. Omega is equals to d theta by dt, right? So final equation, what we can write: R omega e raised to I theta, right? Now this I e raised to I theta, so it can be written as, if you go back to the previous slide, this is the equation, right? I e raised to I theta is e raised to I theta plus pi by 2. So we can substitute in that case. So this will become R omega I e raised to I theta की जगह पे क्या लिखेंगे हम? E raised to I theta plus pi by 2. Right? So this is what the equation we got over here. So VC bar is equals to R omega e raised to I theta plus pi by 2 over here, right? Now what we can conclude from this equation? So one conclusion we can make is that here R omega is the magnitude of the velocity, right? R omega जो term है यहाँ पे, this is the magnitude of the velocity, right? And e raised to I theta plus pi by 2, this is the unit vector in the direction of VC bar. This is the unit vector in the direction of the VC bar, and we can see theta plus 9 pi by 2. That means which is 90 degree ahead of the position link, So if I want to show in this system, it will be like this. So this is the velocity vector, right? And it is, we can see theta plus 9 pi by 2, we have the angle theta plus pi by 2, and this is your VC bar. So vector we can see which is 90 degree ahead of the position of the link OC bar, right? So there is this shift of 90 degree, right? So was the derivation for the velocity equation. Now next, if we have velocity equation with us, we can derive the acceleration equation, again differentiating with respect to time. But before going through the acceleration equation, please reply whether the velocity equation is clear to you.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I just have a general doubt. Like what we are doing in Unit 2, you are also explaining us derivations. Like we derived in previous, and now we are doing complex. So, are derivations asked in exam, or this is only for our understanding, and we know formulas and we apply them in
Actually, in the exam, there is very least chance that they will ask you the derivations, right?
Okay.
Mostly, if I want to tell you, around 80% they will ask you the numericals. They will not ask you the derivatives, right? Around
Okay,
80%. So chances are very less that they will ask you the derivations.
But we understand the derivation, then we can remember the formula easily. Is that
Yeah.
is that why
Yeah,
we
it
are
is.
doing this way?
Yeah, it's very straightforward. If you know the concept, then it is not necessary for you to remember the formulas.
Okay,
Because
got it, sir.
if you know the formula for the position, right, you can easily get the formulas for the velocity and acceleration, because you have to just derivate it, and this derivation you have learned in very since you were in the 10th standard or 11th standard. So all these things you have done in the 10th and 12th standard, right? So that is not a big thing for you.
Definitely, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the velocity equation, right? Next, we have the acceleration equation now. So differentiating the velocity, we'll get the acceleration equation, right? So again, d by dt of VC bar, we are going to do it. And again, we have this velocity equation, r omega e raised to I theta plus pi by 2. Right now here, we need to remember that r is constant because it is the length of the link and which can be taken outside of the differentiation, right? So we have two terms, omega is the one and the second e raised to I theta plus pi by 2. Again, use the UV rule and we'll try to differentiate, right? So omega into derivative of e raised to I theta plus pi by 2. So omega into derivative of e raised to I theta plus pi by 2, it will remain as it is, e raised to I theta plus pi by 2, but we need to take the derivative of this term again. So it will be I into theta, it will be d theta by dt, and this pi by 2 is constant now and it will be 0. So only remaining term will be I d theta by dt, and plus again e raised to I theta plus pi by 2 and derivative of omega, which will be d omega by dt, right? And we have to just replace now d theta by dt. We know it is omega. So this omega and this omega, it will become omega square. And d omega by dt, we know change in angular velocity with respect to time is your angular acceleration. So which will be alpha, right? So just modifying the equation and we can write down this equation, right? So it is r into bracket omega square e raised to I theta plus pi plus alpha e raised to I theta plus pi by 2, right? Or our equation for the acceleration fc will be equals to, if I multiply by r to this bracket, r omega square e raised to I theta plus pi plus r alpha e raised to I theta plus pi by 2. Or this equation can be written in a very simple form. So fc bar, that is equals to fcc plus fct, right? So what are this fcc and fct? So this is nothing but your acceleration, and this term is the centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration. And this term is known as the tangential acceleration, right? Tangential acceleration over here, right? So if you see, the centripetal acceleration is the first term, right? That is r omega square e raised to I theta plus pi, right? Which is fcc, and your fct, which is the tangential acceleration, is r alpha over here, e raised to I theta plus pi by 2, right? So we can say that the first term r omega square and the second term r alpha represents the magnitude of the centripetal and tangential acceleration, right? So r omega square and r alpha over here, these are the magnitudes of the centripetal and tangential acceleration, right? Of the point C, which are ahead of the position of the link OC bar by 180 degree and 90 degrees. So you can, in the case of the centripetal acceleration, you can see theta plus pi over here, right? So your centripetal acceleration is 180 degree ahead of the position of the link, and your tangential acceleration is 90 degree ahead of the position of the link. So if I want to represent it, so it will be like this. If I try to show the centripetal acceleration, right? So you can see this angle, this will be equals to theta plus pi over here. And if I want to show the tangential acceleration, so this is fct and this is fcc over here. And this tangential acceleration will be theta plus pi over here, right? So your acceleration equation in this, you can see it is the addition of your tangential as well as the centripetal acceleration, right? So this was the derivation for the acceleration. And then we are going to move towards the very important topic, which is the loop closure equation. So before moving towards this loop closure equation, please reply in the chat box whether the velocity and acceleration equation which we derived for the complex algebra by the method complex algebra is very clear to you.
सर एंगुलर एक्सेलरेशन गिवन रहता है क्या?
एंगुलर एक्सेलरेशन हाँ उस लिंक का गिवन रहता है ओमेगा. Is it clear for everybody? Please reply. I think the tangential and centripetal acceleration is very clear to you because you might have learned in the 10th or 11th or 12th standard, right? So if a particle is moving along a circle, you can see if it is represented over here, right? So there will be tangential acceleration and the centripetal acceleration. So this is how the acceleration is represented, this tangential and centripetal acceleration, right? Okay, so thank you so much for the reply. Now we'll go for the next method, which is very important. That is the loop closure equation. And why we need to use this loop closure equation? Because this gives the relation between the different links of the mechanism, right? So for example, you can see in the coordinate system, XY coordinate system, we have a 4-bar mechanism, ABCD, right? 4-bar mechanism, ABCD, right? So for this mechanism, we are going to apply the loop closure equation. But before applying the loop closure equation, we will understand what is exactly the loop closure equation, right? So it says that sum of the relative position vectors, right? Sum of the relative position vectors. Please remember, we are taking the sum of the relative position vectors for the links forming a closed loop. So closed loop, agar yahan pe agar hum dekhenge, the closed loop is formed by this mechanism. So closed loop will be ABCD. Right, so here you can see there is a loop which has been formed by this mechanism ABC. The loop closure equation, we can say that the sum of the relative position vectors for the link forming the closed loop in a mechanism taken in order is always 0. Right, very simple statement for the loop closure equation. It says that the sum of, or we can say the addition of the relative position vectors for the links forming a closed loop in the mechanism taken in order is always 0, right? So this loop closure equation is the relation between the position vectors for different links forming the loops in the mechanism, right? So for this, we have, for this 4-bar mechanism, we have 4 links over here. AB is one of the link, BC is one of the link, CD and AD, right? So we have 4 different links, and the relation between this links in terms of the position vector is nothing but your loop closure equation, right? Now what we'll simply do, we'll first try to understand the absolute positions of the vectors of the points A, B, C, D, right? So we can identify the points over here now. So we have a point A, right, which is over here. We have a point B, which is over here. Then we have a point C, which is over here, and we have a point D, which is present over here, right? So, or simply I can, in a very small space, I can draw the points. So we have the points like this: point A, point B, point C, and point D, right? So as I explained you in the first slide related to position vector, if I want to show the position vector for A, directly join from the origin. So this will be your OC bar, right? This will be your, sorry, OA bar, or it is equals to A bar. If I want to show the position vector of B, you can join directly from the original to the point, origin to the point B. So this will be your OB bar, or it is equals to B bar. If for the point C, I want to draw the position vector, it will be like this, right? So it will be OC bar, or it is equal to C bar. And for D, I can join from the origin, and it is OD bar, or it is equals to D bar, right? So for different points in this coordinate system, we can draw the position vector, right? Draw the position vector. So similarly, this is called as the absolute position. It is taken with respect to the origin, right? So it is called as the absolute vector. So position vector of A bar, sorry, position vector of point A will be equals to what? OA bar, or it is taken as A bar. Position vector of B is OB bar, or it is taken as B bar. Position vector of C is OC bar, or it is taken as C bar. And position vector of D can be defined by OD bar or D bar, right? Now it is very clear how to identify the position vectors, right? Next, we'll define the relative position vectors, because in the loop closure statement, it is written that the sum of the relative position vectors, we need to take the addition of the relative position vectors. So for that, we need to define the relative position vectors. Now here I can say that relative position vector of B with respect to A, I want to define. Relative position vector of B with respect to A, I want to define, right? So it is very simple, right? So again, I will try to draw the coordinate system. And in that coordinate system, I'm going to show my AB bar, because I want the relative position of the vector B with respect to A, that is given by AB, right? So this is my, or I will go for like this. So this is point A, this is point B, right? So how we need to do, first we'll draw the position vectors. So for A, I can draw the position like this, and for B, I can draw the position like this, right? So what is the direction of this vector? We have it in this direction, right? And for this position vectors, we have this directions, right? So this is your B bar, and this is your A bar here, right? Or it is also called as OA bar, and this is also called as OB bar, right? So it's very simple now. So I want the relative position vectors, right? So AB bar, so this AB bar, right? So here relative position of the vector B with respect to A, relative position of vector B with respect to A is given by AB bar, and it is equals to B bar minus A bar, B bar minus A bar, right? So for example, I've drawn this separately for this AB bar, right? Now here you can see the vectors A bar and B bar are joined together at the tails, right? How they are joined? Like this. So this is your B bar, and this is your A bar, right? So they are, this vectors A bar and B bar are joined along the tails of this vector, right? Then we have the another vector, which is AB bar, right? So for this, I can write down the equation like this. AB bar will be equals to B bar minus A bar over here. B bar minus A bar, right? So here, this is a very simple trick how to write down the equation for the AB bar. So when I'm drawing the AB bar, right, I can see these two vectors A bar and B bar are joined at the tail over here, right? So for, if I want to write down the equation for the AB bar, vector AB bar, I have to see the next vector. So next vector to this AB bar is B bar over here, right? And initial vector is A bar over here. So AB bar will be equals to B bar minus A bar, right? So this thing you can do for the different links also, right? See, if I take BC bar in case of the second link of this 4-bar mechanism, so our BC bar is over here. So how I can draw that? Our BC bar is over here. So this is your B and this is your C, right? So this is your BC bar, right? So what I will do first, I will draw the position vectors. So for B bar, I can join it from the center. So this is your B bar, and for the C bar, I can join it from the center. So this is your C bar, right? So the BC bar equation will be, now we can see the direction of this vector. This is in this direction, right? So the tail of this vector is over here and head of this vector is pointing in this direction, right? So the head of the vector is connected with C bar and the tail is connected with the B bar, right? So this is one more trick. So BC bar can be written as over here C bar minus B bar, right? Or simply you can remember that BC bar can be taken as the C bar. So next जो point आता है इसमें C bar minus B bar over here, right? Simply you can do it for the CD and as well as for the AD, right? So this is what is the relative position vector, right? So if I want to write it down for all the links, so for AB, BC, CD and AD, I can write it down the relative position vectors. So for AB bar, I can write it down as B bar minus A bar. Relative position vector of C with respect to B, that is BC bar, is written as C bar minus B bar. Then relative position vector of D with respect to C, I can write it down as CD bar equals to D bar minus C bar. And finally for A with respect to D, BA bar, that is equals to A bar minus D bar. So we have this relative position vectors. Now, as per the loop closure equation, it says that some of the relative position vectors for the links forming the closed loop in the mechanism taken in order is always 0. Taken in order means if I'm considering the order for the link AB in this direction, then I'm going this direction, and this direction, right? So see the directions of the arrow, right? So it cannot be like this. It cannot be like this. So this is not going to form the order. So we have to go in order, right? If we take the addition of the relative position of the vectors in the order, then it will be equals to 0, right? So what we will do, as per the statement, we are going to add all these terms. So as we need the additions, we are going to add all this term. So AB bar plus BC bar plus CD bar plus DA bar, that is equals to B bar minus A bar, C bar minus D bar, D bar minus C bar, and A bar minus D bar. And we are going to get this as 0, right? So this is what we have the loop closure equation, right? So this equation, loop closure equation, can also be written like AB bar plus BC bar plus CD bar, and this is equals to AD bar, right? This equation is also same, right? So what we have done, we have changed the order of DA bar, right? So if I want to show it like this, right? If in case it is like this, then it will be equals to AB bar plus BC bar plus CD bar, that is equals to AD bar, right? Or I can also write down this equation as AB bar plus BC bar, that is equals to DC bar plus AD bar, right? Or I can write down this equation as AB bar, that is equals to CB bar plus DC bar plus AD bar, right? So you have to make sure of the order, right? And then you have to write down the loop closure equation, right? So this is the loop closure equation for the 4-bar mechanism, right? Similarly, we have the loop closure equation for the slider crank mechanism, right? Here you can see the slider crank mechanism in which we have the crank, connecting rod and piston over here, right? So same condition we can apply over here. So first we'll find the positions. So we have 3 points over here. One point is Q, second point is C, and third point is P over here. So we can draw the positions, or we can mention the position vectors. So for Q, to show the position vector, we have to join from O to Q, right? Join from O to Q. Then for C, join from the origin to point C. And for P, join from origin to the point P. So position vector of Q, we can write it down as OQ. For C, OC. For P, OP, right? Or it is equals to Q bar, C bar, and P bar. So these are the position vectors, right? Or they are called as the absolute position vectors because they are considered from with respect to the origin, right? Then to define the relative position vectors, relative position vector. So first we'll consider QC bar, right? So this vector, we'll go for this vector QC bar, QC bar, right? So I will consider if origin is somewhat over here. So this is one and this is the second, right? So these are the absolute positions of the Q and point C, right? So here I can write it down for the QC bar. This will be equals to C bar minus Q bar, right? So similarly for CP bar, we can write it down as P bar minus C bar, and PQ bar, we can write it down as Q bar minus P bar. Then very simple, as per the loop closure equation, what we'll do, we'll get the addition of this, all the relative position vectors, QC bar plus CP bar plus PQ bar, that is equals to C minus Q plus P minus C plus Q minus P, right? So we'll get it as 0, right? So this equation, QC bar plus CP bar and PQ bar is equals to 0. Or we can write down this equation as QC bar, that is equals to QP bar plus PC bar. This is also correct, right? So this is the loop closure equation for the slider crank mechanism. And finally, we have the loop closure equation for the offset slider mechanism, right? Here you can see the slider is not in line with the point Q, right? So it is somewhat at an offset distance, right? So for this also, we can form a loop. Loop कैसे बनेगा यहाँ पे? Q से हमने start किया, right? Then we reach C from Q, then C to P, then P to D over here, and then again D to Q. So this is forming a loop over here, right? So for this also we can form the loop closure equation, right? So QC loop closure equation क्या होगा? QC bar, right? Then CP bar, then PD bar, and then DQ bar. So this forms one loop. And if you take or write down the equations for the QC bar, which is C bar minus Q bar plus P bar minus C bar plus D bar minus P bar, and then plus Q bar minus D bar, it will be equals to 0, right? So this equation, as I told you, can also be written as QC bar plus CP bar, and that is equals to what? DP bar plus QD bar, right? So this is how we can apply the loop closure equations for the different mechanisms, right? So if in a mechanism there are more than one loops, you can use more than one loop closure equations. So it depends upon the loops formed by the mechanism. And how we can make use of this loop closure equation for solving the numericals, that we are going to see in the next lecture, right? So I think this loop closure equation is very clear to you now. So if I ask you to apply the loop closure equation for the 4-bar and slider crank mechanism, you should be able to apply the loop closure equation. So please type it in the chat box whether this is very clear to you, loop closure equation for the 4-bar and slider crank mechanism. So this was the last theoretical concept for today's lecture on the complex algebra. From the next lecture, we are going to start with the numericals on this complex algebra method, right? And in that numericals, as one of the student asked me that whether in the exam theoretical derivations are going to be asked or not, right? So there are only 20% chances that they will ask, but while solving the numerical, there you have to derivate it, right? again the part of the derivation is going to come in the numericals itself, right? When you're going to write down the position vector for that particular link, you have to derivate it, right, to reach the velocity and acceleration equation. So you're not going to escape with the derivation part. You have to do it in the numerical also. So we'll see how we can solve that numericals in the next lecture. So till then, thank you so much for this lecture. We'll meet on the next lecture on Friday. So now I think you can type present in the chat box. If you have any doubt related to today's lecture, you can remain back and you can ask the question.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, that ERP is not working for a payment of exam fund.
ERP. Do you have the office contact number?
No, sir.
You can go to the website. PCCOH ची जी वेबसाईट आहे ना आपली, त्या वेबसाईट वरती जायचं आणि ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशन डिपार्टमेंट मध्ये फोन नंबर्स दिलेले आहेत तिथे ऑफिसचे. ठीक आहे, तू तिथे जर कॉल करून विचारलं तर ते सांगतील.
ठीक आहे सर.
नाहीतर एकच मिनिट, ERP चे रिलेटेड डाऊट होतं ना?
हो.
आपल्या डिपार्टमेंटचे एक ERP चे कोऑर्डिनेटर आहे, त्यांचा मी नंबर तुला शेअर करतो.
ठीक आहे.
त्यांच्याशी एकदा बोलून बघ.